Hello and welcome to 27 by 40. My name is Chris.
This is Emmett.
And this is a movie poster review video and podcast.
Yeah.
So what we do is every episode, we look at movie posters from a given year.
Yeah.
And we pick our top five each.
Yeah.
Neither having seen the movie, not a requirement. Is it
just all based on how we feel
is it
about the poster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we think it's a good movie poster?
Yeah, just kind of like artistic, merit or whatever. I mean, what I like about it is that I like the fact that it's kind of wide open as to like what the criteria is. Like the only real criteria is it's from the year that we are doing for that list. Because you can, have different things like if it's just the pure aesthetics or if it's like a graphic design aspect or if it's like how well does this reflect the movie or like there's so many different ways that you can like the basis of like how you choose your picks, right?
It's all artistic interpretation.
Yeah, which is kind of neat because it's such a different. Like, we don't really do that in any other real sort of context, We're not art critics.
Yeah, right. Right. So, this week we're doing 1971.
Yep.
And so, which is quite a different year for movie posters.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is like our third episode. We did 85.
Yeah.
Which was like, because I specifically wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So we just had to start somewhere, and then we've been going randomized since then.
Yeah.
So the second one was 91, and then this was 71, and so it's like 3 different decades so far.
Yeah.
All 3 different
wildly
styles.
different styles.
Yeah. And the thing that I noticed that I found out from doing this, and this is where it comes in. That's interesting to do it kind of randomly like this. Is like I realized that the style of this era is like really not my kind of poster style, and it was actually very difficult for me to do this.
I definitely did not have my short list was very short and not like quite long.
I actually had a really hard time with this one because I really do not like the style of posters from this era for the most part. It's like a lot of just 99.9% of like just don't care. Nothing.
Just nothing for you there.
Nothing for me.
Yeah.
And whereas like with like the 80s one, like with the 85, where it was just this embarrassment of riches of like there are so many potential choices there.
Yeah.
And even 91, like not as much, but there was still some wiggle room. This one was really hard for me.
Yeah.
I really hope we don't get too many in this era.
Yeah.
Going. I mean, maybe it was just 71 was just an off year for it, and it just who knows. But
I mean, we're coming out of this is early 70s, so we're picking up a lot of like the stylings of probably late 60s.
I feel like 50s probably would have been easier for me.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the 50s probably.
And probably the hardest thing about going back to certain eras is just going to be finding posters for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, hopefully the next one we get is like 2000s or more
like
80s, maybe later 80s or something like that. Anyways, we'll find out. I like the idea of sticking with the random thing because it kind of it adds a little air of mystique, we don't know exactly what we're going to do, and plus it means that we don't have to like come up with it, like we don't have to decide like oh, what are we going to do next? It's like, no, it's decided for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So
So this week I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And
so this is your number 5?
All right. So my number 5, Frank Zappa's 200 Motels.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
This poster is wild.
It's pretty wild.
Having to pick from, like you say, not a lot of great, especially like kind of boring artistically posters.
Yeah.
This kind of hand-painted crazy collage.
Now that I get a better look at it, I do kind of like it, and I feel like maybe I could have picked it.
And I've never seen it.
I've seen parts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's anything like this movie poster, I should really get on it because this looks wild.
But Zappa is definitely an acquired taste. It's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah. Most of the poster is picture, not a ton of writing. I mean, they squash the credit bits into like the smallest part of the poster possible. That's actually something I noticed a lot about the posters, and I don't know if this is just because of the era it's from. Like once you get to like the late 80s, early 90s, like posters have a very like regulated like how they have to put like the credit. What do they call that at the bottom there? There's a name specifically for that.
I don't know.
You know, like the title, who's going to be in it, and everything.
Yeah.
The further you go back, it's real loosey goosey. I saw posters that were like had like almost nothing, and I'm like, is this the actual movie? Like, nope, that was actually. I'm like, I don't even think that's allowed anymore. Like, you couldn't even do that, you know.
I don't know about that, but.
You know, I mean, I guess you get special permission, but I wonder if it's all like, you know, for union.
It might depend on like if it's the final release poster versus like a teaser poster, or you know.
It's quite the.
But yeah, that's a pretty good one.
So this will be your number 5.
Yeah.
The
French Connection.
Yeah.
I just thought it was an interesting way to incorporate like, because I saw like a lot of the posters from this era do that thing of like incorporating just basically like a scene from the movie or like a frame or a shot.
Yes.
And it's just like a very weird like
it felt very lazy.
Well, it's just it's weird more than anything else. It's like because I mean it's just not what you expect.
But yeah, I definitely saw a number that are in this kind of format that have that.
But just like from a design perspective, how it's kind of split in half. I don't know. It just works for me in a weird way. It's intriguing. It's kind of weird, but like sort of like the way like where the type is put, like with the whole like, you know, Doyle is bad news, but a good cop,
and it's like right on him.
Yeah, and it's kind of like around, like it's like type set so that it's kind of around. I don't know. It's weird, but it works.
You don't get too many movie posters where somebody's clearly being shot in the back in the poster.
Yeah, like it's just a bizarre. I don't know. It's just a very bold choice, but yet it does sort of fit with the
off-center bottom.
Yeah.
Makes my OCD go wild, but like, why would you off-center that? But I guess it's because of like the way they put his like.
Yeah, and it goes to the end on the right there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But because you'd have to kind of stretch it out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
To make it fit.
Unless you want it, on both sides,
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but it somehow works. Certainly of this style, it's the only one that really stood out as just like, okay, that works for me. Yeah. Like, most of them just don't. Yeah. Like, because there's a lot
a lot of them are like this, but throw, like, way more clutter on it.
Yeah.
What if you also had a picture of every member of the cast on here? And we both hate that.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because, I mean, there was other movies, because this was definitely the era of these kind of, like, hard-boiled crime kind of movies. A lot of great ones. Get Carter with Michael Caine was from this year and stuff like that. But, like, that's, like, didn't really have any good posters, and that was the problem with a lot of it. Like, there was a bunch of movies, like, I won't mention anything just in case something comes up that I'm not expecting.
Same.
But like, there was a lot of movies where I'm like, oh, this has so much promise. Like I know this movie. Like I'm very familiar with this movie. I was like, you can make a really cool poster for this movie, but like the actual poster that exists,
but they did not make a good poster.
Is not, well, in my opinion, it just doesn't appeal to me. So again, that's why I say, like, I feel like this era, or at least this year, the style of posters was just not my thing.
There was a number of ones that were like that French Connection poster that I liked half the poster.
Yeah.
And then like the other half of the poster was full of crap I didn't, like the composition was terrible, and it was like, you know what it is? A lot of the posters in here they felt just like an advert.
Yeah.
Rather than...
Which they are, but...
Well, yeah, but rather than like something creatively,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it'll be your 4?
My 4.
Okay.
My 4.
Okay.
So it's a wide style poster, which was
more common at the time.
Yeah. So this is a 40 by 27 instead of a 27 by 40. Wild put together of sort of, again, like the Frank Zappa one, like painted, crazy bit of art, stuff all melding together. Almost hard to suss out like what is what.
Yeah, I mean, it's very if you look, it's that very like late period Hammer.
Yeah, because it's a Hammer.
Yeah, this is like late period Hammer film, and
they had a lot like this.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
A lot came out in this time, and they're all kind of similar.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
this,
Oh,
yeah.
I'll have to look up some more of those.
Yeah.
But
And none of them quite do it for me.
No,
It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of ugly, to be honest.
I'm going to say, it is
In my
kind of
opinion.
ugly.
Yeah.
But, like, I find it kind of, like, ugly in this, like, fascinating way.
Yeah.
Which, like, sort of like the Frank Zappa one. Like, it's a huge mess of crazy art, and I'm fascinated by it. And, like, same with this. Like, it's just, like, this one I feel it feels a little more artistic. But yeah, I forgot this was a Hammer film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says right at the top there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of...
It was really hard to find a good copy of this.
Yeah, you can see that that's clearly been
this is just
folded.
this is just a picture of a poster. But like a lot of the ones I had
It's like ripped at the bottom.
yeah, exactly. It's real. Yeah, it's just like,
But I mean, at least the clarity is good.
Yes.
like it's
Well,
a good,
that was the thing.
It might be a picture of it, but it's a good picture.
a lot of the other ones I found of this were like the color was all washed out and everything. So yeah. Again, when looking at old stuff, finding a good quality, you know, you hope it was a movie popular enough that like somebody's digitized
I definitely I also struggled with that a lot on this one.
All right. So now we got your number 4.
Yeah. It's Fiddler on the Roof. Which,
nice.
Funny enough, we just recently did an episode on.
This was on my also ran
the re-release one where it's just the
guy on the roof silhouetted.
The literal Fiddler on the Roof.
That's the one I actually prefer.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this is the actual original, the original theatrical release poster. You can see where it says like Fiddler on the Roof in quotes, and then on the screen, because of course they were really pushing that because it was such a famous stage.
Exactly.
Musical.
Well, that was actually kind of funny because when I was looking at this, I was like, oh yeah, it's a pretty good poster. I'm like, I wonder if there's alternatives that are better. And I found the theatrical poster from the same year, the 1990, and I really like that one, but I'm like, that's no good because that's for the stage play. I can't use that one.
Yeah. It's like the wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly. Wrong. That's not Topol. That's, you know.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. It works.
Timely too. We just did Fiddler. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It works. I kind of like the whole like the sort of like the box of the characters, you know, and how.
Well, it's like almost like a summary of the plot of the movie as you go
in
around.
A way. Yeah. And
at him right in the bottom corner, there's like him like walking his donkeys, looking up, talking to God.
And the fact that like all the credit things is just kind of like a column going down the side there, and it's sort
good
of
composition.
It's nice and clean.
The fiddler in front of the sun, the rising sun.
Yeah. Like that's done well. And the way the title's done is fun. Like it's a fun like typographically.
Yep.
It looks nice.
Oh yeah. Good painting style.
Yeah. The painting is good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good.
If there's one plus I can say about posters from this era, a lot of painted posters.
It's not like super my style that I'm into. Like I'm more into like simple striking designs and graphic design. For this purpose, it works well enough. I mean, that's why it's only my 4, you know.
Right.
Obviously the movie's great, but you know. All right.
So my 3.
Yeah. Hopefully this isn't the right. Nope, that's mine again. So I think you did put it the wrong way around.
No, because it's also my 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we both had Johnny Got His Gun for.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out.
Yes.
Didn't that happen last time where like we had right in a row
back to
we
back.
had the same Yeah. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about when in terms of just like more of a graphic design thing and how it's like a more minimalist.
Super minimalist, looks really great. This is one of the ones I was talking about where like there's no information on here, no rating, no nothing, like none of the standard.
It's just
no cast.
Funny enough, a Bruce Campbell production.
Yeah, not that Bruce Campbell. Yeah,
I had to do a double take on that. I'm like, wait,
really?
what?
Yeah.
What does that have to? Like Bruce Campbell was like a kid when this came out. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, like it's literally just like a Bruce Campbell production. What is it? Jerry Gross presents a Cinematic Industries release, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then just like the very simple typography with that sort of like typewriter style font, like lowercase, like no fancy design there. And then like the picture is just this very striking how it's like with the
paint block, hand giving the peace sign there,
and then like revealing like within that is the image.
Yeah.
yeah, this is definitely
the superimposed. It is such a good poster. Yeah.
This is more along the lines of like my preference in terms of like more minimalist, more graphic design based, more just like grab the eye striking. It's not assaulting the eyes. It's just like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
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 Very good.
Yeah. That's funny. We both had them as
Yeah.
we had it both.
Oh,
as
it works
number
out.
three. Yeah. No, that's good. All right. All right. So that's my three, then your three. Now
Yeah.
back to my two.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did see this one.
Yeah. So this is the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Although it kind of looks like the boyfriend Twiggy, but it's just 'cause-
Starring Twiggy.
Yeah, starring Twiggy, being that she was, I mean, huge at the time.
Why does it say starring Twiggy starring?
I don't know. That's possibly for reasons of like just
Yeah.
symmetry.
That's weird.
It's starring Twiggy. Also, Twiggy is starring in. Yeah, no, that's a good. Yeah, because then below that it's got the co-starring Christopher Gable. But
It's Ken Russell film.
yeah, but I really like the art style of it. Really
Yeah.
pops. It's got that kind of retro.
There's a name for that style, but
Yeah.
I can't. Again, for me, it's just it's a little bit like with the Hammer one there. It's just kind of ugly to me. Like, I just
yeah,
don't like that more grotesque kind of style of art. It's just not really my thing. I wish I could remember what that
What that art style is
that's
called?
called though. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, it
that's a
definitely
very-
has a name.
It's a very specific. Yeah, it's kind of like a bit like Andy Warhol esque.
Yes.
A little bit, but I don't know what that's called. Anyways,
Boyfriend, definitely not super important in this poster, as it's almost all just pictures of art of Twiggy. Maybe that's the boyfriend down at the bottom there. Don't know. Yeah. But I haven't seen.
I don't know anything about the movie.
Yeah,
so.
I haven't seen it. So.
Although I'm sure it's probably interesting and weird in some way because it's Ken Russell.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, I should have looked at a trailer or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Although again,
I feel like I just did some drugs.
trying
Must be a
to.
Ken Russell movie.
But what else has Ken Russell done?
Well, we did an episode on Lair of the White Worm.
Oh, that's Ken Russell.
Yeah. Have you seen have you seen Listomania?
Yes, I've seen Listomania. Okay, that's Ken Russell.
With Roger Daltrey playing Franz Liszt.
Okay.
That's pretty messed up. He did the Tom. Well, speaking of Roger Daltrey, pretty sure he did the Tommy, the Who's Tommy movie. Pretty sure he did that.
Okay.
There was one. Oh, what's the one?
Well, it's gonna be very intrigued to see this Twiggy movie.
There's
now.
actually like another movie from this year
that he
that
did.
he did. It's like the something about devils, demons.
Oh, just the Devils. He did a movie called Just the,
The
Devils.
Devils,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's also very messed up.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this poster now. Yes.
Yeah, like, and also The Music Lovers, which is also 71. He had 3 movies out in 71.
Go, Ken Russell.
Yeah.
So now you're number 2.
So Straw Dogs, very striking and just like, whoa,
Yeah.
poster. It's a little low res, unfortunately. It's the best version I could find.
This was
The
actually
actual original poster.
this was one of the ones that
Because there's a lot of
I
variant.
left it as an also ran
Yeah.
because I couldn't find
There's a lot of variant. Yeah, well, what I did was I just kind of zoomed it. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
no, no.
enlarged
I
it.
actually-
So it's a bit low res at the bottom there.
Yeah.
But the picture works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just such a like, whoa, like what is happening?
Yeah, the broken glasses, the
Like super close up and just like like kind of disturbing, but kind of like what is happening here? Like what is this movie?
I'm intrigued.
Which is very much like that's my whole like thing with posters. It's just like it should make
me interested in what.
it should make you be like what is that? And not like oh, what is that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like that's two
Well,
different things.
I mean, the more is I don't care about that.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the one like whatever.
Well, those are the ones you don't even really look at.
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
like pass by and you just like you glance and you're just like you don't even really look at it. You know.
It's you look at this and you're like, whoa, and then you start searching for like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
Versus like posters where it's just like movie title first, and you go, oh, there's this movie called Here, and then there's some art with it.
Yeah.
And this is definitely like holy, like evocative.
Yeah.
Is this a movie? It is a movie. Oh, Dustin Hoffman's in it. What's it called? Oh, okay, Straw Dogs. This scene does not happen in the movie. Yeah, I don't know Straw Dogs.
I've seen it.
Young Dustin Hoffman.
I didn't really. I don't like it that much. Although
okay.
I know, like, I can see why.
What's it
it's
about?
It's
best I'll just look it up.
It's kind of better to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So
But yeah, very impressive.
Yeah. No, that's a really good one.
Very impressive poster, and very much along the lines of like what I'm talking about with, minimal
Yes. Fits in that.
graphic design and just like very like striking and attention grabbing. But not like screaming in your face, not too busy, not too anyways.
So my number one.
Well, that's different than the regular one.
Yeah, this is an alt one, but from the same.
Yeah, it's clearly from the same.
I think it's the European release.
Okay,
poster.
Because as I say, like that. I mean, if I'd seen this, I might have picked it.
Yeah.
I didn't see this. I only saw the regular one, which I think is okay, but not.
It's. I mean,
it's clearly the same artist.
Yes. Yeah.
It's obviously just like a variant.
I've seen Diamonds Are Forever. I don't recall there being a big alien ship and like weird space ladies and stuff. That's
come on, man. You gotta allow for some artistic interpretation.
But good painted poster, good Sean Connery likeness in there. Just really, probably still falls in the category of also a little bit ugly in some ways. Again, it's that style.
No,
of art.
I like that one.
It's that style of art again.
If I'd seen this, I probably would have picked this.
Yeah, put this on your.
Because what I saw was the standard one, which I thought was okay, but not good enough.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good.
There was a couple, there was a bunch that I also saw a few that were like the like your French Connection one.
Yeah.
Where it was just like a scene from the movie and then it said Diamonds Are Forever and showed Sean Connery's face.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm good.
Nah.
Yeah. But
well, my number one, you won't be shocked at all.
Okay. Speaking of minimalist, yes. Yeah. Very good. Good, well painted. Yeah, Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. I mean, perfect balance of like having a little bit of a text on there, but very snappy. The design, the intriguingness of it, the sort of slight off-kilterness of just like, oh, this is kind of weird and creepy, which, obviously suits the movie perfectly. Put Stanley Kubrick's name nice and big there.
Yes.
That's a big selling point, obviously. That cool sort of like, I don't know what you call that, but again, I'm so rubbish with like art, like terminology and stuff. But like the title, that style of like,
the font there is great.
Yeah, it's like a very of that sort of like, it's kind of that like post psychedelic.
Well, a lot of it is based off of, can we make the O look like an orange?
Yeah, which hey, that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very
this was one where like there was a lot of different posters,
underground,
but like this was like,
this is the classic.
Yeah.
This is what I remember from like box covers. And
exactly.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And I always remember that tagline with the, being because it sounds like so like distinguished, like it's like being the adventures of a young man whose principal interests are rape, ultraviolence, and Beethoven, and it's just like what. I'm very uncomfortable with all of the things that you just said.
But it's not going to stop me from watching this movie.
But it makes it sound like very like distinguished and like it's I don't know, it's so bizarre. But that's Clockwork Orange.
I like how like there's the way it pops from like he's in the A but also coming out of the A.
Right.
The way they layer it is very good. Yeah.
It's classic. It's classic.
It's classic. I saw this and I was like, I can leave this off my list because I knew it was going to be on yours. So that was fine.
Sometimes you got to be a little predictable.
No, but it's a good one. It's a good poster.
Yeah,
it's a good poster.
But like I said, I didn't think that was going to come as any sort of shock. that I picked that.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have much in the way of also rams. I think there was a real minimalist, the King Lear one.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Was I thought, because it was a good, nice minimalist one.
Yeah,
but
all
it just sort of like, I was like, what if I mostly pick ones that are full of crazy, ugly art?
Yeah.
And so I sasaw that's sort of the direction I decided to.
I mean, speaking of Shakespeare adaptations, the Polanski's Macbeth is from this year too.
Yes,
and that one
that's not a bad one either.
That one's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's an alright poster.
One of the ones that I probably would have been like number 5 or so on my list would have bumped the Zappa 200 Motels was.
That was good though. I saw it, but I didn't really look that closely at it, to be honest, and I didn't realize that's actually not too bad. I should have known better because I'm pretty familiar with Zappa. So
was the Billy Jack poster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I could
lot
not
of
for the
westerns, man.
Yeah.
This year had a lot of westerns.
I didn't see any that I was posters that I was excited about though. That was,
No, not in like the Silverado kind of way.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Though definitely like the style of the Silverado poster could have easily fit within. Too good.
Too good.
Too good.
Too good, man. Yeah. I really feel like this is a weak
71 weak year for posters.
Weak year for posters.
Yeah.
Some good movies, but weak year for posters.
I think probably even though it was both our 3, in some ways I think
Johnny Got His Gun.
Johnny Got His Gun was such a good
it's pretty good.
But yeah. All right. So let us spin the wheel to find out what we're going to do for our next episode.
All right.
Round and round we go.
Where it stops, nobody knows. 92?
92.
So just 1 year after our last...
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
All
right.
I mean, what's interesting about that is obviously the same era, but even just that 1 year difference...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a whole completely different set of
movies.
Totally different set of movies, so obviously there's no correlation.
But it's not going to be stylistically huge.
You know what? There might actually be. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Part of me is kind of like, oh, that's too bad. It's so close to one we've already done. But part of me is like, that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
To see
how much different is 92 from 91?
Yeah. Yeah. And also just the fact that it is a completely different set of movies. So, it should still be, it'll be a lot easier to do than 71, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm all right with that. That's funny. I mean, that's what doing it randomly gets you. Sometimes it's just kind of okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's funny, as it was spinning, I was like, I wonder if we're going to get 72 and we got to do 70s all over again.
I think I'd have to request a redo on that then.
Well, I also just realized, too, I forgot to take out 71 from last week. So we could have gotten 71 again.
Well, obviously.
That we would have
that would be a redo,
that.
obviously. Yeah. I mean, I was sort of thinking maybe somewhere in the 2000s might be interesting.
Yeah.
Just because it's different. We
big,
haven't done that
big
yet,
different in terms of, I mean, even early 90s to late 90s.
Well, I thought for a second it looked like it might be on like 2006 or whatever.
Yeah, I think that was the next one.
I was like, oh, maybe it'll be 92. That's fine, whatever. I mean, it's one of those things where I know we can do it because I know I like the stuff of that era, but also, or at least that there'll be enough. I'm also obviously much more familiar
for sure
with that. There'll be way more movies that I'm familiar with and that I've so
it is definitely interesting though. Even when we did the 91 and
I think it'll be a good one.
And the 91 and the 85 is just turns out a lot of movies, my favorite movies from the year, not anything I'm gonna put up. Poster. Liking the movie and liking the poster.
Yeah, I mean sometimes they correlate a little bit, but often not. Yeah.
No, and they're not definitely related.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with 1992.
Oh, I should say it will be a little bit later because we're going to have, where we normally would be doing that, we have a big top 5 on what we've watched. So it is going to be 1 week later, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
So we've got 1 extra week to do this one. So yeah. I mean, unless we wanted to do it next week.
I'm fine.
But
yeah. I don't mind going because I still got to edit this.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Well, you can leave this. This doesn't have to be in the final. Anyways. Okay.
All right. So until next time, I'm Chris.
This is Emmett.
Cheers.
Bye bye.